Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday, September 18th, and it's a beautiful morning. It's about 65 degrees out, low humidity. Looks like a great day to brew some beer. So today I'm going over to my buddy Dan's house, so it's take this old brewery out on the road again, and we're going to be brewing Doppelbocks. So he's brewing his recipe, which I've had before, and it's very tasty. At least I think I've had it before. I know he's brewed Doppelbocks. He loves to brew German and Belgian beers, and he makes some great beer. And I will be brewing the Noncompliant black Doppelbock out of the Mashmaker Challenge book. So it should be a fun day. Let's get to it. I gotta go get some bagels and some cream cheese this morning. And I'm working on about 5 hours of sleep because last night I was in Appleton, Wisconsin playing a show with the Gleasons. So that's my my Irish band. So shows I can't even think what kind of band I play in right now. That's how tired I am. But anyhow, let's get the brew day started. See y'all in a minute. We have made it over to Dan's house and we are all set up. So I got a little food for us. Got some cinnamon rolls, some bagels, cream cheese, a little bit of chocolate milk in the background there. Of course, I brought over some scotch because we got to do the hot scotchies. Here's the ingredient list for today. So I got 11.5 pounds of Weyermann Munich malt, and then 0.625 pounds of floor malted Bohemian, a quarter pound of Carafa 3. And I had to substitute the Care Aroma because the place where I get it from doesn't carry it and didn't have time to order it. So I got a half pound of Special B, which should work fine. I looked online and looked for different substitutions, and everybody seemed to be saying Special B. So here's the hops for today. Less than an ounce of German Magnum, actually 0.75 ounces. And then we're adding some candied syrup, dark candied syrup, D180. So that is the ingredient list for today. It's time to double our Doppelbocks.
My name's Dan Sullivan. Been homebrewing about 15 years now. So today in the dueling Doppelbocks, we're doing Kai Troysters and Parador Doppelbock recipe. So if you go out to Kai's page, brewkaiser.com, he's got his traditional recipe with 15% Bohemian Pills, a large chunk of dark Munich, so 78% dark Munich, Care Aroma, Care Munich 2, Care Munich 3. However, our friends at the Northern Brewer don't carry Care Aroma, so we had to make a substitute for Simpson's double roasted crystal malt. It's a little different than what Barry's using with Special B. So we'll see how it goes. The only changes I'm making to Kai's recipe is I'm adding in an extra pound of Munich just to kind of get the gravity up a little bit, and just to make sure my efficiency is where I want it to be. Because sometimes with bigger beers, your efficiency can be a bit lower. Kai's got some pretty good efficiency, so hopefully we'll get close to what he had. And his recipe calls for a single decoction, so we're going to do a decoction mash here today. So the first rest is going to be beta rest at 145. And we're going to do a decoction and push it up to 160 for our second rest. So that's the recipe.
It's the fly killer.
In theory.
We've got a couple. The flies outnumber us.
So we're losing battle. Now we're going to pull off the thickest part of the mash and we're going to boil it. So the recipe calls for decocting 5. We're going to aim for about 6 quarts to decoct, and then we'll boil it. So we'll get some conversion of this grain. So I'm guessing that's about 6. We'll go like that. So I think the trick with this is we just don't want to heat it up too fast because then it'll scorch. But we also want to stir it constantly, make sure we don't get any scorching on the bottom either. So then I'll give it a burnt taste, which we don't want.
It's hot scotchy time. So I took off first runnings. It was 1067. So I think we're going to be right on the mark here. We're supposed to be 1074, I do believe. We still have second runnings to add, and then the D180 candied syrup. So I think once we get the boil and the candied syrup in there and everything's all set, we should end up probably around 1072, 1074, somewhere in there. But hot scotchy, it's a tradition. Ooh, yeah, this is really good. Nice and sweet, but roasty. I'd say more coffee than chocolate. Very, very tasty. And of course, my good Abelauer 12-year single malt scotch. It's good stuff.
Yeah, very, very tea-like. Very malty, very, but it's, the first runnings are so sweet though, it's hard to get anything besides sweetness out of it. But it's good, I'm not pleased with how it turned out.
Dan's boil is done, and we are about to chill down this wort. Smells really good. Smells super good. I think that decoction really paid off. Oh, here he is. The flies have been really bad today. We've been killing them with a tennis racket. It's an electrified tennis racket. It's a lot of fun.
I'll start charging Barry for that.
Yeah. Matter of fact, here it is.
So this brew day went all right. We missed our step with the decoction, so we had to do a second infusion. That's one of the challenges with decoction is you tend to get a temperature drop as you draw off the grain. And I think I just didn't account for that properly in beer sense. So I think by now I know how to do it, but there's still steps you miss once in a while, I guess.
You all strapped in and ready to go? Huh? You all strapped in? Why are you being so quiet? Well, it looks like you're strapped into me.